Hey, my name is Devin. I'm a realtor with Axford Real Estate. I work in the Lower Mainland in British Columbia, and today we're going to be tackling the question, what is a pre-sale? It's a question I get probably asked once a week minimum. So a pre-sale, it could be a condo, townhome, duplex, or even detached home that is being offered to purchase before it is built. Sometimes even before a project, town complex, townhome complex has even started. So let's do a walkthrough, and we're going to need a example. Or let's say we have a sweet couple. They're looking to purchase their first condo, we'll say, and they want to purchase a condo 2 years away. So there's multiple reasons why people buy pre-sales. I can go into a lot of them. Appreciation. Maybe people think the market's going to pick up in 2 years, their condo is going to be worth more, so it's a great deal. It could be because they're actually aren't financially ready for a mortgage now, but maybe in a few years or 3 or 4 years, they think they'll be able to support the mortgage so they can save up for that money to start paying that mortgage. Some people speculate interest rates are high. Right now in May of 2024, interest rates are actually quite high. You're looking at 7% for a variable and maybe 5.5% for a fixed 3-year. So some people are purchasing now and actually locking in their interest rate when it's complete, whether that's 1, 2, 3, 4 years away, thinking that interest rates may come down, which they possibly could. Maybe you are purchasing in Kelowna or vice versa in Vancouver. And you're not looking to move now, but maybe you're relocating for a job or something else in a few years or 1 year. So you're purchasing a place in anticipation that you are going to be relocated. And then a few could be either upsizing or downsizing. You're looking to, downsize to a condo, but you're not really ready for that downsize yet. But in a few years, you think you will be. You have time to pack and get ready for this whole process. But there are 1,000 reasons why you could buy a pre-sale. A lot of them are stacked up on top of each other, such as getting a good deal, interest rates, saving up money. So there's lots of reasons. So for example, let's say that this young couple says, we think the market's just going to pick up in a few years, so we want to get a project that we think is going to appreciate. In 2 years, we're just going to get the best deal possible. Absolutely. The first thing I would probably still suggest is creating a checklist. I know, checklists are boring, but let's just nail a few important ones. Probably price. What's our max budget we're willing to spend? How many bedrooms we need? If we're a young couple, do we need 2 bedrooms? Can we do a 1 and den if we work from home? We want to figure that out. Obviously, that will change the price in some way. But yes, want to know how many beds we need. Location. Let's just say we want to stay within 30 minutes of Vancouver. All right, let's add, Richmond, Burnaby East, Burnaby North, Burnaby South. We're going to add North Vancouver in there, maybe even Coquitlam, New West, if we can get, close to a SkyTrain. So let's narrow down a location. We probably want a minimum size of what we're looking for. If we're looking for a 1-bedroom, are we looking something over 500 square feet? A 2-bedroom, want something over 800 square feet. Let's have a minimum square footage that we're looking for. And most importantly, we want to know how much deposit that we are working with. We want to make sure we have this money ready to go because the deposit is one of the most important things to secure this pre-sale. So we want to know how much money we have ready to go for this pre-sale. All right, we got our checklist done. We got our minimum criteria needed. So let's go find that pre-sale. Let's go find that absolute perfect pre-sale for you. Where do we go? Well, you can try on realtor.ca, which is a Canadian website, rue.ca, which is also a great website. Some listings are on Zillow.com. That's an American-based website, but you can find some deals there. I've seen some posted on Craigslist, and you might even seen some of mine on Facebook Marketplace. There's a ton out there, so I make sure you do pick reasonable people with the right information, which is very tough. But anyways, those are some of the places you can find a pre-sale deal. I'm going to tell you my bias recommendation is to reach out to a pre-sale agent that has all these developments like myself. I can probably get you into every single development here in BC. It's going to save you tons of time from all the searching online. It's going to save you the headache from trying to register from website to website. I have the floor plans, brochures, prices ready to go, updated, and I can definitely get in contact with as many sales teams as possible. I normally already have their cell phone numbers, so we can get all of your questions answered very quickly. But I just want to bring attention to please do reach out to a pre-sale agent, whether it's myself or someone else. I get probably at least a couple of times a month. Unfortunately, a buyer entered into a pre-sale and they're saying, hey Devin, I entered into this pre-sale with this agent and they didn't really explain much to me, or I didn't know the details of my assignment or completion, or what happens if the project didn't go through, and now I'm in blank situation. I would absolutely love to help you, but unfortunately it's almost like too late. The developer's contractor is so in favor of the developer that it really doesn't give you a lot of outs. So that's why I just say, please talk to someone who does pre-sale deals quite often, because they're gonna know the answers. They're gonna explain everything in a way that can definitely save you down the line. Also, I am completely free, no strings attached, completely free, no cost to you, and often I can get probably the best deal possible. So for me, it's a no-brainer, but anyways, moving on. Say you find a project, or I send you a project out in Vancouver, and you say, hey, I like this one. Can you send me the pricing, the floor plans, brochure? I get it over to you. You like what you get. You like what you see. The next steps would probably be to go visit the presentation center in person. They normally give you some type of, not a sales pitch, but a sales summary of what the project's about. You're going to go over material, and maybe they'll even have a suite or showroom that you can go through and tour yourself. If you're not able to make it, maybe you're looking in Vancouver, but you live on Chilliwack and it's just pretty far away, I can often do a FaceTime or a video of the presentation center of what it's going to be looking like, just to save you time if you don't need the whole sales pitch and everything like that. But yeah, if we do all that and we like it, what are the next steps? Well, we probably want to reserve it so no one else gets it. Normally that's done through a unit selection form or just by getting the paperwork started right off the bat. I know I said that word and it's probably already scaring you, paperwork, because in pre-sales, it's long documents, big wording, and it is a little bit scary. It's very different than if you've purchased a condo before or a house before. It's a different actually purchase contract, which is written by the developer. But one thing I do for all of my customers is I do a very large outline of the contract, but I like to put it simple words. Simple meaning nothing too difficult to understand, because like I said, there's a lot of jargon in there that's hard to make up if it's your first time buying a pre-sale. So what I like to do is take all that jargon and make it something simple and easy so that you can understand. And like I said from before, we want to know absolutely everything before signing anything for a pre-sale. So before I go on to the contract and terms, I actually want to bring up one of the most frequent questions I also get as well, is how does the deposit structure work, Devin? Well, it depends. I'm going to say something that you might not know is the developer sets the deposit structure. They could set it 5%, they could set it 10, 15, 20, whatever amount. Now I normally hear, oh, but Devin, I'm a first-time home buyer and I heard that you only need like 5 or 10% down. Not for pre-sales. That only applies for a resale. The developer is going to be the one who sets those terms. So say it's a 10% deposit. They might ask to pay 5% now and 5% in 6 months. If it's a 20% deposit, they could say 20% right off the start. Or if it's a few years out, this project, they could say 5% now, 5% 6 months, 5% in 1 year, and then the last 5% in 2 years. They could stagger it any way they want. Obviously, they want to be competitive and make it super easy for you. So they're probably going to stagger it in a way that works for most customers. However, if you come in and say, hey, I only have 5% down and your deposit structure says 10, they're going to say, sorry, kid, nothing for you, unless they have some type of incentive going on where they reduce their deposit structure. The developer can't just go change willy-nilly the contract. So I want to be super upfront with you that the developer sets those rules. It's very hard to change. If you want to give more money, that's another thing. You can definitely put your full deposit in. That way they don't have a problem taking your money, but not have enough is going to be a problem. But let's go back to our couple. Say that couple, we found a beautiful 1-bedroom and it's $500,000. We're going to do an example for 10% deposit. We're going to have to pay that 10%, 5% when signing, right in that contract, and then 5% in 6 days. 5% in 60 days. So that first 5% of $500,000 is going to be $25,000 that we're going to have to get a big bank draft and send to the developer, which is held by their lawyer, but it is going to the developer. 60 days later, they're going to give me a call or you a call and say, hey, you remember that pre-sale you bought? Well, it's 2 months has gone by now. We kind of need that next 5%. So you're going to have to go back to the bank, hopefully a few days before this timeline,